I saw them in a limitless stream, flopping, hopping, croaking, bleating, urging inhumanly through the spectral moonlight in a grotesque, malignant saraband of fantastic nightmare. H.P. Lovecraft, The Shadow over Innsmouth. The Deep Ones, the first of the Cthulhu Mythos that I've discussed away from the Great Old Ones and the deities within it. The Deep Ones are just that, deep-sea creatures living in vast cities of otherworldly design deep within our oceans. It is not known where they came from, whether they have always called the ocean their home, whether they are native to Earth, or they made the depths their home and they came from afar. Perhaps when Cthulhu and the Starspawn first arrived. In appearance, the Deep Ones are humanoid, though they have traits that of fish, humans and even amphibians. They have been described as having a grey, green tone to their skin, though their stomachs are typically white. They have scales and, more notably, ridged, fin-like protrusions along their backs, webbed hands and feet, and of course, their necks are lined with gills, so they may breathe the water of the deep. Their head is more reminiscent of a fish than a human, and they are said to have unblinking eyes that stare endlessly. They are not strictly bipedal, and they have been seen adopting the stance of a quadruped. This would likely be due to their webbed feet causing some difficulty to walk upright at times. Being that they seem to stem from the depths of the ocean, they speak in a foreign tongue, nothing like English, and they croak and creak their language to one another. Their appearance is said to be so horrific, so alien and so strange that for some who have glimpsed them, it is just too much, and they simply lose consciousness. The Deep Ones are an oddity among the odd of the Cthulhu Mythos. The Deep Ones create pacts and agreements with coastal towns and villages. They offer them bountiful fishing hauls in exchange for offerings of the flesh. You see, the Deep Ones appear to have an affinity for mating with humans. Whether this is simply the way they have always furthered their species, or something they have developed culturally, isn't known. However, I would be of the firm belief these creatures have always used humans as a means to further their species. Why risk exposure, death and destruction simply for a cultural fetish? The risk does not outweigh the reward, so it would seem to me the agreements and pacts made with these people are of the utmost importance to the Deep Ones, in that they need to mate with humans, and the risk of destruction and their existence becoming widely known is worth it. Those that are born hybrids of human and creature appear entirely normal. Their human traits, though, slowly but surely become less and less, and the Deep Ones within them, the traits of their ancestors, come out. Shrunken ears, bulging, glassy and fish-like eyes. Their head shrinks and narrows. Their skin slowly changes colour and texture, rubbery, blue, somewhat grey, and eventually they will acquire gills and webbing on their hands and feet. The rate of this change differs from person to person, though generally finishes at what could be considered middle age for a human. Once the change is completed, the hybrid no longer wishes to live amongst humans. Feeling the pull of the depths below, they will eventually make their journey to the rest of their kind, the rest of the Deep Ones. Though the race are immortal, they can be destroyed, and it may be that they fear the impending rise of Cthulhu from the depths. Perhaps it is this fear that makes them further their species and bolster their ranks. The Deep Ones worship two beings as their gods. Dagon, who is worshipped as Father Dagon, and of course Mother Hydra. The way these beings are described, it is highly likely that these are simply ancient and revered Deep Ones, growing to enormous size and falling into myth and legend to their people. A lot of people have recommended I read The Shadow over Innsmouth for my next audiobook. I took this suggestion on board, and it is for that reason I have explored the Deep Ones in this week's Cthulhu Mythos video. As always though, I do have some questions for you guys. Why do you think these bizarre creatures hybridize with humans? And do you believe they are still here? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and if you did enjoy this video then please consider leaving it a like and subscribing to the channel for more weekly Cthulhu Mythos videos in the future. I've been Mr. H, and until next time, I'll catch you in the comment section.